Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tash if you're new here. Today we will be doing my TBR for the month of February. This will be my first TBR video for the year. I decided to not make a TBR for January just because it was such a crazy time. So that's why I skipped last month. But this month we will be making sure that we maybe start off a bit slower with the year and the amount of books that I've been choosing. We're probably going to choose maybe 5 books today, and that's because there are quite a few book releases coming out this month. So I do want to go through those book releases with you now as well. We do have 2 books that are coming out on February 11th. One of them I'm possibly going to buy, but I've still got the book prior to read. Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. I haven't read this one yet. It is on my TBR. Hopefully I do pick it up this month as part of my TBR because the 3rd book will be coming out, which is, I might pronounce this wrong, but Emily Wilde's Compendium of the Lost Tales. So I think that's how you pronounce that word. I've never said that word out loud before. And again, on the same day, February 11th, we've got BK Borison's First Time Caller, which is the one that I'm already got in my pre-orders waiting for it to arrive. So that's something that I definitely want to read this month. It just gives me such romance. February, it is the Valentine's Day month, so I do want to read a lot more romances this month, but I also have been feeling like I want at least one really good romantasy in there. I actually don't know much about this one, so I'm just going to read. So it's a hopeless romantic meets a jaded radio host in this cozy, sleepless, in Seattle inspired love story by the beloved author BK Borison. Aidan Valentine has a secret. He's fallen out of love with love. And as one of the hosts of the Baltimore's romance hotline, this is a big problem. And when the young girl calls into a situation asking for dating advice for her mum, the interview goes viral, thrusting Aidan and heartstrings into the limelight. Lucy Stone thought that she was doing just fine. She has a good job, an incredible family, and a smart and slightly devious kid. Ooh, single parent trope, love that. But when Baltimore is suddenly scrutinizing her love life, or lack thereof, she begins to question if she is as happy as she thought. Maybe a little more romance wouldn't be such a bad thing. Everyone wants Lucy to find her happy ending, even the handsome, temperamental man calling the shots. But when sparks start to fly behind the scenes, Lucy makes the final call between the radio-sponsored Happily Ever After or the man in the headphones next to her. Right. That sounds really good. I'm going to stay away from the reviews. Let's not read the reviews. I'm very excited to read it. Plus, the cover is just stunning. So I really want to make sure that I've got that on my TBR this month. And then the final book release, which comes out on February 18th, which I loved the first book. And the second book is Rebel Witch by Kristin Cicciarelli. I don't know if it's a duology, it possibly is a series. That is in the back of my mind to make sure that I'm reading. They're there, so I'm sort of including them in the books that I want to read. We've got some of the same questions from the jar from last year, so nothing's really changed. I do have a couple books at the top of my shelf. They're just some hardbacks that I couldn't really fit on here, so I just need to make sure I remind myself, which is why I'm saying it now, that there are books on that shelf up there that I could possibly read as well. All right, let's choose our first prompt for the video. Let's stick to 5. The first book on my Goodreads newsfeed from my TBR. I may have put my old prompts back into here when I moved house, so that's probably why I got that one, but I do love that prompt, so I'm still gonna do it. So far, Queen of Shadows from Luke Off With Love. Not read any of these, and it has to be on my physical TBR as well. Don't have that, I don't have that. Oh my gosh, there's so many. I do have The Winners, but that is not a book I'm up to. I'm just finished Beartown, so I need to read You Against Us, but I don't have the physical book yet. The Favorites! Oh my god. Yes! Okay, perfect. I literally just received this book yesterday in the post. I didn't know that it had sprayed edges, but it's got like a little pretty purple sprayed edge. I've heard a lot about this book, so this went a little bit viral for me on my particular For You page and also on my Instagram, Bookstagram, because I've seen quite a few of my mutuals on there say that they loved this book so much. They've all given it 5 stars. They said that it's full of drama, angst, but there's just so much that happens. It's so hard to look away from when you're reading it. Like, it's just like, you can't put the book down. So that's what I'm hoping my experience is going to be like as well. And I'm taking their advice and picking it up. So I purchased it and it's, yeah, I can't wait to read this. I'm so glad that that showed up on my newsfeed. I wasn't actually planning to read this month, but I'm happy that they've brought it up first. So this will be the first book. What it's about is Katrina Shaw has always known that she's destined to become an Olympic skater, but when she meets Heath Rucher, a lonely kid stuck in the foster care system, their instant connection makes them a formidable duo on the ice. Clinging to skating and to each other to escape their turbulent lives, Kate and Heath go from childhood sweethearts to champion ice dancers, captivating their fans with scorching chemistry, rebellious style, and a roller coaster relationship. Until an Olympic Games, as a world holds its breath, a shocking incident instantly destroys their partnership. 10 years later, an unauthorized tell-all documentary reignites the public obsession with Shaw and Rocher. If Kat wants to own her story, she must break her silence, as Kat's account of her dramatic rise and fall alternates with scandalous interviews of the film, the favorite spin-off into a dance between passion, ambition, and what it truly means to win. That sounds really good. So it says on the back here a few things. There's a rivalry, betrayal, love, an addictive read. I want something that's just going to keep me on the edge of the seat, and I think I need that type of book right now, so this will be perfect. Let's choose prompt number 2. Ooh, a treat yourself. That's perfect. Yeah. What do I want to read? Sticking with the romance themes, I'm kind of thinking I might go for either a romantasy. These are the two that I've sort of picked up. I don't really know if they're like if romance is such a heavy plot point in these books, but I've heard really good reviews of both of them. So we have The Unmaking of June Farrow or Half the Soul. And a book that I've just been keeping my eye on is Last Night by Vari McFarlane. This one is more of a literary fiction style book, and I would say that I don't know if there's romance in it, but there's two best friends, and that's all I really know, and that's based on what it says on the front. I feel like as much as I'm wanting to read this, I'm probably leaning more towards the romance fantasy at the moment, so I'll put that there. Actually, or do I do Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands? Oh, it's such a beautiful cover as well. I don't want to like pick one of these and then a prompt will like be next that I could choose this book for, but I'm also like, I really want to read this, so I think I might go Emily Wilde's, even though I'm hoping to get these as well this month. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. All right, that's book number 2. All right, prompt number 3. Oh, T pics from my TBR. So that's my partner. I'm gonna have to send him a photo and then hopefully he gets back to me very soon. Let's spin this. Do I want to do the other side? Or just do one side, I won't overwhelm him. Okay, I've sent him a text. Let's hope he responds before the end of the video, otherwise I'll come back to you at the end with a little clip once he's chosen, because he is at work right now, so we'll have to see what he comes back with. Alright, prompt number 4. Wait. Oh yeah. I was like, wait, why have I only got 2 books? Yeah, sometimes I have like short-term memory loss, I swear. Prompt number 4. This one. A book that has a one-word title. What do I have here that has a one-word title? Intermezzo. Rewitched. I've got Wild by Kristen Hanna. I think these will be the 3 that I'm going to choose from. I'm definitely leaning more towards Wild or Intermezzo. I should read Rewitched, like I really should, because like if I don't read it now, it's probably going to be till like Halloween season. I feel like it's going to be one of these 2. They're the ones I'm leaning more towards. Wild, I know, is about a girl who meets a young girl. I think that she finds her and she appears speechless and alone in some woodlands. Yeah, and then she takes her on because she doesn't have an identity and she has no hint of her past. But the girl who takes her is a psychiatrist and is working with the girl, but then I think she ends up adopting her. I'm not 100% sure, but this girl is a complete mystery. She finds her there, where she's come from, how she's got there, and just figure out her journey. But again, along the way, they sort of form this bond. But I really enjoy Kristen Hanna's writing, so this is definitely like one that I'm like drawing towards. But I'm also like, I haven't read Intermezzo yet. This seems like something that's right up my alley. It's about 2 brothers. They're completely different. So we got Peter, who is a lawyer in Dublin in his 30s, very successful, competent, and apparently unassailable. And then we've got Ivan, who is a 22-year-old competitive chess player. And it seems like their father passes away, and it goes through their relationships with different people, their relationships together since their father passing, and obviously how they get through the grief. I'm definitely feeling like I might be drawn towards Intermezzo. I've heard some very mixed reviews, so I feel like I'm just going to go in and not think about anyone else's opinions, because there's people saying that they absolutely think this book is a masterpiece, and then there's people who say like it's very confusing, that the writing doesn't make sense, and that the story is just like it doesn't flow well. Like you can, like, going between each of the characters, it's very confusing. I don't really know where I'm going to sit with this. I'm either probably going to think that this is the hardest thing to read, or I'm going to be obsessed, so I might as well give it a go. It's been sitting here for a while, so I think I'm going to go with this. Intermezzo. Let's choose the final prompt. Let's hope it's a good one. A historical book. Ooh, okay, fun. I've really been enjoying historical books in general, just historical fiction, historical romances, anything historical. I'm obsessed with. I don't know what it is, but I've always been probably this type of girl myself. I've always watched Regency films, just anything like Jane Austen inspired films. I don't know, that time period really calls to me. And then, but it's not just those particular time periods as well. It's like I've now slowly been reading a lot more about the 70s, the 50s, the 40s, like anything historical past 2000. I will read it. So I've got a couple here. All the Lights We Cannot See. This one is a World War II romance, so this is definitely something that I would be interested in reading. Lessons in Chemistry. I believe this is set in the 50s. 1960s. Basically all of Kristen Hanna's books I have here. I've got The Winter Garden, Wild, and Firefly Lane. I think all of her books are historical at some point, whether they're time jumps or they're literally set in that time period. I mean, Firefly Lane is definitely speaking to me, but I feel like I'm gonna go with one of these two. All the Lights We Cannot See is something that I'm probably drawing more towards right now in this particular moment. I read The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, which was set in World War II, and I really enjoyed that. I'm really interested in reading about this, so I'm going to add this to the TBR. As much as I said I was going to be reading romance, why have I got not even one complete romance book on here? I'm such a liar. I'm hoping with what T comes back with, he might choose something that is romance, but this is what we have so far, so I'll check in with you once he's chosen the final book. I kid you not, I just got off the phone with him because he wasn't responding, and I thought, he might be quite busy at work and he might not have time to respond, so I thought I'll quickly call him so it prompts him. I was FaceTiming him and I was like, quickly read your message and just tell me which book to choose. And then he went and had a look at the photo and he's like, oh, I'm gonna choose The Nanny. I just started giggling and I was like, perfect, thank you. So this will be the final book. It is a romance. I'm very happy to have this on the TBR for this month. This is a single parent. She's the nanny. When she gets the job, she's actually she's a special video creator, if you know what I mean. And he was subscribed to her, and yeah, I don't know if he tries to not tell her that he was subscribed, but yeah, I know that this is a spicy book, so it is also good to have because, you know, I've got quite some serious books on my TBR at the moment, so this will be a good break from what I currently have. Plus, I do have First Time Caller as well as this. We'll quickly run through the final TBR. So we've got The Nanny by Lana Ferguson, All the Lights We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, Intermezzo by Sally Rooney, Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands by Heather Fawcett, and finally The Favourites by Lane Fargo. This is officially my first TBR video for this year of 2025, but for the month of February. I'm surprisingly very happy with this. I think it's a good mix, so we should have a good month. I don't know what type of videos I'm going to film from these books, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure something out. Please let me know if you've read any of these books that I have picked out for my TBR this month, or if you're also reading them this month as well, especially any of the new releases that I'm trying to read as well. I hope you all have a great reading month and that you get at least 1 5-star this month or more if possible. And I hope you all have a lovely Valentine's Day and you get to spend it with either your friends, family, or loved ones. See you guys in my next video.